I always feel like Matthew McConaughey, but like obviously he's way better and cooler than I can say that, but I always do feel like him. I'm like, it's just kind of like a tick, like when you just like do something and you're like, oh, there I am saying the thing, right? So I'm so excited for this episode of the Wealthy Mama Show, because this is something that I want women to feel so safe around, which is feeling safe and getting louder with our passions, specifically on social media. So I have an amazing guest coming on that I really believe has done this so well for so and invited her. So let's keep fingers crossed that technology works for us today. Dun 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 dun. There she is.
I should have pink glasses on, but I got blue ones on.
Those are cute though. I love those.
Oh, well, thank you. I have
Right.
yellow ones I prefer to wear. Let me change them.
I love it so much. Change your glasses, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, those
I
are
like
fun.
these. Usually I see these ones for like being, on camera.
I
just
love
think
that.
they're cuter. Thank
Have
you.
you seen the glasses that are like magnetic and you can just keep changing the frames? Those are
Yep. I know. I've
like
seen
those.
those too. Me too. I've
Yeah,
checked them out.
I know.
Awesome.
Well,
Glad to
welcome.
be here.
I know. Welcome, Linda, to the
Thank
show.
you.
We've known each other for years, but for
Yes.
those that don't know you, give us a little sneak peek of who you are and what you're up to.
Well, I want to be a really wealthy mama. That's why I'm here, and that's why we know each other. So I am a mom. That comes first, right, in this area. So I have an amazing 11-year-old daughter. I've been married to my husband for over 24 years, so we decided to welcome her a little bit later into our life. She was planned, just for the record. From a business standpoint, because sometimes that's questionable, when you have them later in life, right? That's a question. Just to party first. Um, but I work in dentistry. That's my income. That's my money. But I've always been an entrepreneur. But in my generation, we didn't have social media, so we didn't have a mentor. We didn't have a coach. You really could. You know what? I think those struggles were there, and I didn't have either one. Guidance counselors really are not guidance counselors in schools. There really is not enough information to help you make these choices and where to go. But I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. But I fell into dentistry, got licensed there, but there's always a bigger calling, right? So what do? So I do fill teeth. I work in dentistry as a clinician, and I decided to start a nonprofit organization because the world should live dental disease free. I mean, that's my passion, right? So tooth decay is preventable. I would like to see no child in the care, but it starts with education and it starts with birth. So we did a nonprofit organization. And Natalie, I really thought with my gift of gab, I'd make that nonprofit profitable because it can be your main source of income. And I thought I could do that very quickly, but it doesn't happen very quickly, especially when I did that right when the whole world was shutting down. Yeah, but I decided to do, let's make it quick, right? So here I am now where I decided to do a residual income where I will sell a dental subscription box that for every box that is purchased, we will donate a kit to the nonprofit, and it's a residual income. And that box this is where I come at as a mama. For me, it's very important that we live that tree hugger or a crunchy lifestyle, some people say. I'm very particular about what goes in our mouth. We don't do dyes, like we will never do Gatorades. We don't do sodas. Everything has to be all natural. That's how I live. I try to reduce plastic. So that's my dental subscription box. We have a tooth soap. It's an amazing item. There's no chemicals. It's completely, toxic free, and it's all natural, and all the products are compostable. And of course, in dentistry, I do some coaching on sustainability too, but that's probably boring stuff that your audience, they really don't want to know about. Unless you own a dental practice, then, call me. But otherwise, I'm going to be a wealthy mama helping other mamas, live a dental disease free life and try to reduce as much toxins and chemicals that they put in their body if that's what they wish to do.
I love that so much. And that's obviously you're very passionate about it. And one of the things that I love most about you is you're not afraid to speak up about your passions.
Yes.
And for those that are terrified to do that, I would love to open up a discussion around that. Like, what would you say to them? Because every woman has so many gifts, so many passions that they could really bless the world with and create a massive impact. And like I hear so often, if I could just get out of my own way. And so I think us feeling safe about speaking up is a big part of that. So I would love to open up a discussion with you about that.
This is a great discussion because I would love to be actually kind of on the circuit of speaking about something like this, but I don't really have a good way to speak because it comes naturally. So when I say, baby, I was born this way, I was born this way, and I've been known to be very maybe stern about some things because I'm passionate about it. And what can I say? You know what? There's nobody better than yourself, right? I mean, you do that, Nelly. So if you in your audience, people see you and you are 100% transparent, and you know why? Because it feels good, doesn't it? It feels good to be you. It feels good to that inner voice, right? There's always like, oh, I wish I would have said that. I would have done that. Why the hell didn't you do it? I mean, what the fuck is holding you back? Like, who are you trying to impress? Who cares who judges you? I mean, ultimately, you'll never see these people again, or if they're not in your circle, who cares? I mean, you're only as good as the company that you keep. So, I mean, I can't, there's no elegant way to say, be yourself, right? If it's on your mind, say it. The worst anybody can say is no. And, if they judge you, screw you, because they ain't perfect either. We are all our own hot mess. And I don't know, I wish I had that secret pill, for you to take that would just allow you to find that comfort in being you. But I think once people get used to being themselves, you'll find that there's a joy in it, right? And I feel that way. I mean, I used to because right now, like you sometimes yourself will have people that are naysayers or they judge you for, right? I mean, for your enthusiasm. And there has been a time in my life where I thought I need to change who I am, especially in dentistry. I'm in an office environment with women, with corporate people, right? I want to climb up the corporate ladder, but I might not necessarily have the degree that would allow me as other people do. But I can be very stern about my passion. And when you're not with other people that share that same, then they can, right? You're a bitch or what have you. And then you think there's something wrong. I've thought about that, right? I mean, I'm sure you have too. There's something wrong with me. I need to change myself. And you know what? No, I've just learned through the years. I think the biggest thing I'm going to share is like, in dentistry, I had somebody have me do the Clifton Strengths. I don't know if anybody has done multiple personality tests, but I've done that. And that one myself, I'm going to say really was the trajectory because my number one is significance, which really means I want to be recognized. It's so important to me that I leave a legacy and that I'm the one that did that, like whatever that it is. And that really kind of washed everything away. But for anybody listening right now, there's no better person than yourself. So just be yourself. I mean, be authentic. And that's why I speak up because I don't know any other way. I mean, why would I hold it back? Why would I go through my life holding myself back for somebody else? Ridiculousness.
No, and I agree. And sometimes we need that wake up call to be like, right? Linda,
Yes.
you're right. And, both sides are costing us something. Like there's risk with both,
Yes.
right? And so
True.
is it costing you more by keeping yourself stuck, right? Like how is that negatively impacting your family, your heart, your legacy, your wealth, right? Your health. And so I think, and I'm sure you would agree, like it's actually costing you more in so many ways by you not speaking up, by you not standing in your truth and your passions. And there is like, people do need to understand there is risk of speaking up.
Yep.
Not everyone is going to like what you have to say.
Yep.
And so I teach that there gets to be protocols in place because even The Rock, which is like one of the kindest human beings ever, or Taylor Swift, or like any big well-known celebrity, they are the most kind, generous, talented human beings, and they still receive hate, negativity, slander. And so it is a risk. The more you expose yourself, there is a risk. And so what has helped me navigate through that is understanding that the risk is worth it, and how can I protect myself and be proactive around any risk. So that way, as much as I can navigate through it and it not trip me up or slow me down, which has been really, really helpful.
You are spot on, girl. Spot on. You know what? There are risks to both sides. But you know what? But it is, what side do you want to be on that risk? For me, you know what? I want to go for it. And you have to be a risk taker. You got to get uncomfortable. You just do. I mean, I don't find joy in comfortable. I just don't. I mean, and why would you? Like, and I don't find joy in making other people comfortable for me. Does that make sense? Like, I don't need to make you okay with me. Like, you know what? You need to be okay with me. Right?
Yes. And I love that you said, like, you're as good as the company that you keep. And so it's really making sure that you are being your authentic self that way you're very transparent with everyone around you. Like if I was a certain way and then I got married to my husband and I completely was different, you'd
Mhm.
be like, what did I just get myself into? Like this is a whole different human.
Mhm.
And the same goes with your business. Like when you're actually very authentic in your marketing, when they go and buy from you, it makes it so easy to continue that relationship. And like if they were to like receive
Mhm.
your package in the mail and it was not sustainable,
Yes.
right? And it was a big plastic tube of toothpaste, they would be like, "What?" Like
Right?
they would be,
I know, right?
yeah, they would be really confused. And so us being authentic for the sake of being authentic, and then equally, understanding that that does get to translate to our marketing for our business, it feels so easy and effortless that you're just being you.
So much easier.
And I think too often people are like, well, I don't have a big following, or, only 10 people watched my video, or, I had a speaking engagement and, 20 people were in the audience.
Yes.
Like, what would you say to stuff like that?
Oh, that's something we talk about all the time, right? So you got to be comfortable with changing just one life. You know, when you go into this, if you can just reach out to one person, that was one more person that you reached, right? And we do that when we speak because there are. Sometimes we can have an audience of 100 or some, or sometimes you walk into something and you have an audience of 10. And it's obviously, you know what, you can be discouraged. And, without a doubt, social media sounds like these influencers are great, but we're finding out that maybe they're not as great as they are. You are. Like, you
Yeah.
being you are greater than finding somebody else to be you, right? I mean, I hope I articulated that well, but in speaking, that's the same thing. And or if we do webinars in dentistry, we do things like this, CEs, and that's the
Yep.
thing. If you just touch one person, that was one more. So who cares about your audience? And everything has to grow. We really kind of forget about. I have somebody in dentistry that refers to the bountiful harvest, right? But it is, you got to eat a seed, and the seeds don't sprout to the sunflower overnight, right? You got to trust the process and take your time. And I've learned that too. Being a working mama, right? You watch people and you see that maybe your journey should be quicker, and everything that glitter is not gold. And I've learned to give myself grace too, right? Like we're on a different journey and I got a lot on my plate and everybody does too. So, just work at it on your own and we're all right.
I love that. Well, and you've continued to go for it, which it's easy in the beginning to be like, yeah, I'm going for it. I'm going to speak my truth and I'm going to be passionate. And then the world throws curveballs at you, life challenges happen. How have you been able to navigate continuing to have that enthusiasm and that passion, although maybe it's taken longer or you've had, challenges, because your spirit is so alive and it's always been there and you can always feel it. Like that's not an easy thing to do. Like how have you been able to keep that fire alive?
I definitely have realized I have failed a lot in my life. And if you look back, starting as a child, right? Like I can look back at, doing something in elementary school that failed. I can look back in like middle school where something failed. You know what? There's something about perseverance. And where do you find perseverance? It's because, Nellie, I do think about where I'm going to be at the end of my life. And I'm hoping that I will be a very healthy 100-year-old that has the pleasure of sitting in my rocking chair with some good friends and looking back and reflecting. And that's how I picture myself. That's me. That's me personally. That's my tactic. I picture myself as that 100-year-old lady, maybe 104, but I'm healthy, right? I can still get up and make my own food and go to the bathroom, but I'm aging gracefully. But when I'm sitting there and I reflect back, I want to be happy with myself. I want to be able to look back and know that I did the best that I could, right? That I was a badass and I did it. I would just hate, like, that's me. I would cry, right? Because that's how I think. I would just be awful. If I'm like, damn it,
Yep.
all I was a dreamer.
Oh,
Like, right? I mean, that's all it was. I never had the action to put anything forward, and here I am. Like for me, mediocre's not good enough. And now we have the internet and social media. We have the ability on our own. Because before, again, I didn't have that mentorship. Here I'm 50 years old and I'm finally getting my shit together. But there's so much truth to like there are people my age and older that when they finally got their act together, their success bloomed, and then we retire well. And that's me. I just look back and I know what I want and I want to be very happy. I want to live that legacy. I want to make sure that my time here on Earth was valuable. I mean, I don't think that we were put here just to be space fillers. I think that we were put here very intentionally, and we have a message. And when you find your passion, that is what you're born with. There was a message that, if you believe in a higher power, whatever that it is, I mean, you're here for something, and I want to make sure that I am here for something. I had a purpose. I worked hard for it, and I bettered people in the meantime. I mean, I do think I'm here to change the world, and I strongly do. I mean, I was here to change lives, and that's my goal.
Well, and when you when you come to that belief from the lens of one life at a time,
yes.
you're changing my life right now. This is such an inspiring conversation. And so, I love breaking big goals down to very small, bite-sized pieces. And so let's all just wake up every day and say, I'm going to change somebody's life today. And it may be your own that day. It may be your kids. It may be a stranger on the internet or somebody that you drive past or walk past. But when we come into each day with that, I feel like there's never a day that will go by that we don't change lives. Yes. And so I feel like that's just such a powerful affirmation to live by of, I'm going to change lives today. I'm going to change lives today. And I don't know if you noticed my hat, it says happiness. So it was perfect that you fast forward to, the end of your life and happiness is priceless. There's people out there that have lots of money and are not happy. Yes. So we can't just chase money. Yes. It is about passion and fulfillment and knowing that the money will come. And that's been so true over my journey of when I'm chasing happiness and fulfillment and my passion, everything works. Yes. Everything works. Do you know who Alex Hormozi is on the online space?
I do not.
Well, you'll love this. He says, I never want effort to be the reason why I don't succeed. So he always focuses on his effort, and if he's not at his goal, that just means he needs to turn it up more. Yep. And I see that in you so much. You are and have put in so much effort, and it will continue to pay off for you. You will continue to change lives. And it's just so important that we bring ourselves back to that, because it can trip us up. It is easy to compare yourself online,
Oh, easy.
And so I think just us getting grounded in that energy of okay, let me crank up the effort. Let me make sure what else I can do. You want to be on speaking stages. Well, we've got to pitch, right? We've got to get ourselves out there. It's just so cool when you look at your goals as you are meant to have everything you desire. It's not meant to be a carrot that you never obtain. You are supposed to have them. If they're on your heart, you're supposed to have them. So it's us doing our part is so important. So for those that are wanting to start a business, what would you say to them? Because I feel women get in their own head about what if, and you went for it. And the probably, you mentioned earlier, one of the hardest times when the world was shutting down. Yes. So what made you just go, I'm going to go for it? I'm going to go for it.
Well, for one, I was tired of building somebody else's empire. So I want to be my own millionaire, right? So that's number one. I'm going to tell you, mamas out there, go at your own pace. It's easy to look at somebody that you don't know. You just see them on social media and you think it's fast, and you think it's quick, and you think it's rewarding right off the bat. And more often than not, it's not. So give yourself some grace. If you need to take a nap one day, take a freaking nap, right? It's okay. It's okay. Success is great, but go at your own pace. Definitely that. And then, when it comes to resources, that's one thing that I have learned, that there are more resources out there than you truly understand. I live in Columbus, and I absolutely love Columbus. Between the Metropolitan Library that you go, even the main branch, they have Adobe Photoshop that you can use at no charge. They have nonprofit organizations like SCORE. If you want to speak, get involved in Toastmasters or the National Speaking Association. I find YouTube. Just get on YouTube and ask a question. If it's a question in your mind and you don't know the answer, YouTube it because somebody has already asked it and there is an answer. I've built my own websites. I've done my own nonprofit. I've done my own LLCs. I've registered, multiple trademarks. I've done it all myself because I have to. That's my budget.
Yeah.
And I just learned it on YouTube. And if you haven't done Chat GPT, it's just like YouTube, right? Like ask it a freaking question. I mean, if you want to learn how to make banana bread, it is on Chat GPT. Or if you need social media content, so again, I mean, those are good, good tips. So definitely use your resources, give yourself some grace, and you know what? Just get out there, leave your legacy. Go do it. I mean,
Yes.
just go do it.
We are never stuck, no matter what.
No.
We are never stuck. And this is such an amazing opportunity in the trajectory of everyone's life. Like the amount of resources, the amount of social media, like the opportunity is there for those that do desire it. And so I really do believe, I would love your thoughts, it does come down to effort and continued commitment. Would you agree?
Not only effort, definitely action and self-discipline.
Yes.
You know what? I'm a strong visionary, but nothing happens unless you put the action and you have the discipline to follow through.
Yes.
But do that at your own pace. Like, I just don't want to, I think that's the barrier. That at first I really kind of felt like, what if I didn't, make $1 million tomorrow, I'm a loser. You know why? And I'm not there. I mean, our relationship has extended many years. I mean, we go back a while and I'm still getting a paycheck from somebody. So I've learned to not judge. People have done it quicker. People have done it slower, but I'm still doing it. That's important.
Yes. No, that's the most important thing. And it's your day job is a part of your wealth strategy. And I think we get to take the stigma away from people that that's a bad thing, because it's actually a really good thing for your nervous system. If that helps you have safety and provide for your family as you're building your dream, that's hugely important. Like, I'm going to be running a full marathon this year. I won't be the first one to finish. I won't be the first probably 100 people to finish, but I will be damned if I do not cross that finish line. Like, I will crawl if I have to. Yeah. And so I think just like the message that I want people to hear today is, are you in the marathon, right? Like, are you running? Like, and you could be walking or whatever it may be, but like, we can't get to the finish line if we aren't even in the race. And Absolutely. So I do believe that is our responsibility, is if we don't fully love where we're at, whether that be financially, emotionally, physically, anything in between, just get in the race. Like, get in the race. Yes. And so before we end today, tell everyone where they can find you, connect with you, buy one of the subscriptions, all those things.
Well, Linda with a Y, so just make sure that's very important. So I'm Linda. So it's kind of really easy just to go to one website only, because everything else is on there. So lindasherman.com, and it's Linda with a Y, Lynda, Sherman, Sherman. If you go to lindasherman.com, you'll have direct access. If you wish to donate to the nonprofit organization, you'll have access. If you want to jump on Get Mouthy, which is my plastic-free, chemical-free, all natural, dental items. And if you are a dental practitioner, you're a dentist, and you want to take your dental practice, because I think you have some dentists on here. So if somebody's watching and you're interested in making your dental practice more profitable with sustainability, you'll have access to EcoSmiles Dentistry too. But get lindasherman.com. It's all there. And then you can stalk me from there.
I love it so much. Well, it's been a joy to have you on today. You really did make my day better. So you've already checked your box today for impacting one life. So, and anyone watching.
Yes.
So, thank you for being you. I love you, and I can't wait to see you continue to grow and thrive. And I hope to be in that rocking chair with you someday.
You sure will, my girl. I love you too. You've been very influential in my life as well. I appreciate you.
I love you so much. Have a great day.
You too, honey. Bye.